Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner hold hands and beam with joy as they leave their DC home together. Ivanka Trump and her husband Jared Kushner were all smiles as they stepped out of their Washington, D.C. home holding hands on Thursday. Ivanka and Jared frequently leave for work at separate times, but this morning the couple looked blissfully happy as they walked out the front door of their home together. The first daughter donned a $138 peach sheath dress featuring ruffles on the shoulders, pairing the frock with pale taupe heels, both of which are from her eponymous line. The mother of three shielded her eyes from the morning with a pair of stylish aviators, and her long blonde hair was straightened and loose around her shoulders. Ivanka was the first one out the door this morning, but Jared only had eyes for his wife as he followed behind her. Jared, who looked dapper in a slate gray suit and navy tie, had a binder under his arm, but that didn't stop him from chivalrously holding Ivanka's hand as they walked down the stairs. The two were both grinning from ear to ear as they headed towards the black SUV that was waiting at the curb for them. Later in the afternoon, Ivanka and Jared were photographed arriving at the American Leadership in Emerging Technology event held by President Donald Trump at the East Room in the White House. Although they headed to the event together, they sat on opposite sides of the table during the event, and Ivanka had a pencil in her hand, ready to jot down notes. Ivanka and Jared will presumably attend the congressional picnic being hosted by President Trump at the White House later in the day. Despite their busy schedules and demanding roles in the White House, they looked like they didn't have a care in the world when they left their house this morning. Jared, Trump's son-in-law and chief Middle East advisor, arrived in Israel on Wednesday for a day-long visit aimed at restarting long-dormant Israeli-Palestinian peace talks. Although he barely spent 20 hours in the region, Jared met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, along with U.S. Ambassador to Israel David Friedman, Israeli envoy in Washington Ron Dermer and American Mideast envoy Jason Greenblatt, at Netanyahu's office in Jerusalem. Later in the day, Jared met with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas in the West Bank city of Ramallah. Trump has tasked Kushner with the ambitious goal of laying the groundwork for what he calls the ultimate deal, but deep divisions remain, clouding chances of a significant breakthrough in one of the longest crises in the Middle East. Meanwhile, back in the U.S., 18 Democrats on the House Oversight Committee penned a letter to White House Chief of Staff Reince Priebus questioning why Jared's security clearance hasn't been revoked. The Democrats noted that Jared failed to disclose his meetings with Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak and the CEO of a Russian state-owned bank when he applied for security clearance, allowing administration officials to say he did not such meetings. While Jared was away on Wednesday, Ivanka stepped out by herself in a floral skirt by Dolce & Gabbana, which she paired with a heavy long-sleeve top, despite the warm summer temperatures in D.C. Ivanka headed to Capitol Hill later that day to meet with House Republicans to discuss workplace and life balance issues.